Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to talk about introduction to Snowflake SQL API. This is the first video from Snowflake SQL API playlist. In this video, the agenda is here. What is the SQL API? Capabilities of SQL API, limitations of the SQL API, building considerations when using the SQL API. What is the SQL API? The Snowflake SQL API is a REST API that you can use to access and update data in Snowflake database. So here REST API is nothing but representational state transfer is an architectural style that defines a set of constraints to be used for creating web services. As you know that SOAP web services like that, REST is the nowadays is very important to interact with between two applications. If you want to bring the data from Salesforce to Snowflake, then you may use the REST API which Salesforce will provide. Similar way, Snowflake also they have their own API called the SQL API, which is based on REST. Okay, REST API is the way of accessing web services in a simple and flexible way without having any processing. You can use this API to develop custom applications and integrations that perform queries, manage your deployment. For example, provision users and roles, create tables, etc. So you no need to to connect to Snowsite or SnowSQL. Okay, if you develop any application by using any web application, in that web application you can use the SQL API to interact or to connect the Snowflake and access the data as well. You insert the data or update the data or delete whatever you want, you can perform by using this SQL API. So the capabilities of SQL API, the first one is the Snowflake SQL API provides operations that you can use to submit SQL statements for execution. Here submit SQL statements could be a select statement, could be a merge statement, insert statement, or update statement, or delete statement. Check the status of the execution of a statement. You can check the status. Say example, you might have executed some SQL statements like as I mentioned that any DML operations, DDL, or call means you can execute the procedure as well. So if you want to check the status for that particular statement, or what happened, whether it has been completed successfully or failed or in progress, so in that case you can check the status of the execution of a statement. Cancel the execution of a statement. Suppose assume that there are few queries which have been running for a long time, and okay, you've been asked to cancel that query. So by using the REST SQL API, you can cancel the execution of a statement. Fetch the query results concurrently, so you can get the data from the Snowflake as well. And you can use the API to execute the standard queries and most DDL DML statements. As I mentioned that you can use this SQL API to execute standard queries and most DDL and DML statements. Please note that the auto commit parameter must be set to true for query or statement level regardless of the value set at user or account level. In Snowflake we have a parameters. Okay, one of the parameters is the auto commit. The auto commit parameter can be set at different level. Okay, one is the account level, user level, session level. Okay, so when you are submitting any SQL statement using the SQL API, you have to set the auto commit parameter as a true. What are the limitations of SQL API? So as you know that if you want to put or get the file in the internal stage, so we can use the put and get commands. But using the SQL API as of now, we cannot. These put and get commands are not supported. That means from your local to Snowflake internal stage, you cannot put the file as well as you cannot read the data. That means write download the file from Snowflake internal stage. The SQL API does not currently support Python stored procedures. Okay, so in Snowflake we can write our Snowflake procedures by using the different languages like SQL scripting, Java scripting, Python, Java, as well as Scala. So currently, Python stored procedure we cannot submit from SQL API. Billing considerations when using the SQL API. So see, whenever you submit anything, so Snowflake will cost, or Snowflake will charge, okay, on that processing query or whatever it may be. So when you are going to execute, okay, so the SQL API leverage the cloud service layer when fetching some query results. So we no need to provide any our own Snowflake warehouse. So Snowflake will use the service layer. So under service layer, whatever you are going to use or submit or execute the queries by using the SQL API, that billing will comes under cloud service layer. Yeah, that's all from this video. Thank you. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like it and share it to your friends. Thank you once again for watching this video.